You will get this presentation emailed to you, the link emailed to you. I will upload it to my YouTube site so that you will be able to have all of this and be able to refer back to it. I'm sure that's what you want to do over the holidays, but it's good. You'll be able to look back when you try to create your own plan. So the first step of any marketing plan is to understand your reason for existence. What does your business do or sell? It's a pretty simple thing. So an example, Bliss Cupcakes, they sell cupcakes in Northwest Arkansas. You know why you're in business. Write it down. I often ask people to create just a simple Word document, and they step one, my reason for existence. What do you do? And so the reason this becomes important is when somebody asks you to do something that's not a reason for your existence. Let's say you're a florist and someone decides that you should, I don't know, sell cupcakes. That's really probably not in your plan. And so you have to, just having it written down as simply as possible is an important part to this. So do it even though you already know what it is that you do. Step 2, what sets my business apart from the rest? So think about a mall that has 7 different shoe stores. How is your shoe store better or different from everyone else's? You are unique. You offer a unique solution. You offer a unique opportunity. Maybe you're a service business. What is it that you do better? Is it that you're local? Is it that you provide great customer service? Is it that you have a VIP club? Is it that you provide the best designs? If you're, maybe you're a furniture company, you provide the best designs. Maybe you're low cost. It could be any of those things. So the example I used is Eureka Time. They're the only art gallery in Eureka Springs that sells only regional art. They don't sell any. They don't go to shows and pick up cool things across the country. They actually only have regional art, and they're the only one in that particular town. And so think about that. What sets you apart? This might take a little bit longer for you to do. Sometimes this is harder for people because they think, well, I'm a florist, or I'm a realtor, or how am I really that different? So if you can brainstorm a few ways that you're different, that will serve your business in the long run anyway. Step 3, my ideal customer. So I have lots of worksheets that I give clients on how to figure out who their ideal customer is, but we'll briefly cover. So your ideal customer is who you're marketing to, who you would actually like to respond to the marketing efforts that you're doing, who are reading your email or looking at your ads or listening to your radio promos, whatever that is, that these are the people that you're trying to reach. So where do they live? What kind of job do they have? What do they like? What I ask people to do is actually just write up what their ideal customer is. And they may have one. They may have someone who they think, wow, if we had 30 more of her, our business would be set. Or if we had, these type of people, we would just be able to, not worry at all. And probably who these people are. If you're new to business, you might not. This might be something where you're thinking, well, I think my ideal customer is, but you're not exactly sure. If you are a B2B business, a business to business, that your ideal customer, it might be what position they are. Are you selling to the HR manager or the CFO or the CEO of a company? Know those things about who your customer base is. The reason this matters is because if you're creating any marketing effort at all, anything from a postcard to a poster to a sponsorship to an email, if it's not being targeted towards this ideal customer, it's just something that you're sending out. So when you think about it, when you're designing your promotions and you're designing your marketing pieces, Would my ideal customer respond to this? That's the question that you're asking. So knowing who they are, I work with clients and I actually have them name them. So they're like, so when they say, oh, we're sending this to Betty, people, the team knows what they're talking about. Like, oh, this is exactly who that she would love this, and that my product is a great fit, and let's see if she responds. So it's an important piece. It's something that I think a lot of small businesses don't do. Step 4. What is most important to my ideal customer when they are buying what I'm selling? So you know who your ideal customer is, you know about them, you have an idea of where they went to school, what kind of car they drive, what kind of magazines they read, that kind of thing. And now, why are they interested in your product or offering? Is it because of quality, price, origin of goods? Do they care about buying local? Do they care about buying, eco-friendly? Is it your customer service? Is it your amenities? What is it about you that you provide that they're interested in? And that is what the keywords or the things that you're going to highlight in your marketing efforts in the next year. Because if you know the thing that they're most interested in is that you're local, then you're going to emphasize that you're the local answer to whatever problem that they might have. If it's that you have all of these great amenities, maybe you're a spa and you offer all of these tremendous amenities, then you definitely want to have that highlighted within all of your marketing. So think about who they are and think about what it is, why they buy what you have. So those are the two pieces of that are pretty crucial to when you're developing your marketing. Step 5, what do I want to accomplish this year? So I like to work with my clients and tell them to have realistic goals. Small is better. Don't try to do it all in one year. I love growth and I love opportunities for growth, but rushing and doing a million different endeavors is never good for any business or nonprofit. So some of the things that you might want to accomplish this year are adding new products, hiring new staff, developing new partnerships, creating residual income products, designing new concepts. Maybe you need to lease a building. Maybe you've been working out of your home, and your business is ready to grow. Pick 3 of those, pick 2 of those, pick 1 of those, and do them really well. Focus on them really specifically. Have a plan of how you're going to get there, as opposed to, well, we're just going to double business. That's not actually necessarily the goal. It might be that you want to provide more services, and that will help you provide more revenue. But just having a money-based answer hasn't worked very well for the small businesses that I've seen. What I have seen is when they focus on specific outcomes, things that they can measure, like hiring new staff or adding new product lines, then they can see their success and they can see their revenue grow because they've done these things. It's much harder to just say, I want to grow revenue. I mean, it's great if you can do that. I just have never seen a small business be able to do that. And it's because I think it's too amorphous. It's too in the air. It's not, how are we going to get there? It's just, oh, we're going to make more money. Well, everybody wants to make more money. I don't know anybody who is really comfortable where they are. But that's, how are you going to get there is this. So what do you want to accomplish? So think about that in your plan, and in your little Word document that you create, you pick 3 things or 2 things that you really think will move your business forward. How much will each marketing initiative contribute to my revenue profitability? So everything costs money. There's not any marketing that you can do that's completely free. A membership is not free. ads aren't free. Even the time that you think you're spending on, Facebook or LinkedIn, even if you're not buying ads, that time isn't free. So think about where your revenue comes from. Is it coming from email marketing, event marketing, ads, social media, traditional marketing, and sort of put percentages to that. And the reason I have clients do this is because that's where you're going to A, spend some money, and B, you're going to spend some time and energy. So you can't do everything. It's 100% is what you're working with, and you're going to divide that up. So when you realize that you're not going to be able to do every initiative, this allows you to pick the initiatives that will actually drive revenue, and then you can watch it. Here's the great thing. So let's say that you've said you want to do some event marketing. You're going to become a sponsor. And you're going to put 20% of your budget and 20% of your time to that. So what happens is you can easily track if you got 20% of your revenue back from that as well. So that makes a really easy way to say, did that work? The bottom line is, did that work? And at the end of the year, you can decide, well, I don't know if I'll do that again, or maybe I'll give that another year to see if it just needs more time. But at least gives you something to judge as opposed to just wondering. Because this is what I think happens. Most brick and mortars, especially, just have people who come in their door every single day asking them to sponsor events, buy ads, buy pens, buy marketing solutions, buy whatever it is. So every day they're inundated with that. And so we're trying to help you not have that happen. And instead be able to make decisions before they come to your door. So maybe even, let's say you make this plan now or in the beginning of January, and you say, oh, I'm going to do some event marketing. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on it. You don't even know the event yet that you want to sponsor necessarily, but you know that that's something that you want to do. Well, when the opportunities come, you'll be able to judge that by having a plan already in place. Are you with me? So we're at step 6. We're doing really well. The time is, I'm getting through these faster than I thought I would. So we'll have time for questions. So what gets included? What would all those pieces be? Email marketing, Facebook, buying stock photos, hiring a consultant, yellow page ads. I don't know. I can't see you raise your hand, but I know people still buy them. Pens, pencils, tchotchkes with your brand on them, billboards, text marketing, postcards and mailings, websites, newspaper ads, cable ads, radio ads, public relation costs if you're doing anything on PR web or any of those other opportunities, pay per click, Google or Bing or any of the other pay per click opportunities. LinkedIn ads, blogger campaigns, you name it. I mean, this is not the full complete laundry list of what could be included in your budget, but this is just some of it. There's a lot of opportunities to market your business. And so when you go back to this, and you realize, well, I'm going to spend maybe 60% in one, 20 in another, and 20 in another. Maybe it's just 3 efforts that you're going to make. That's okay. It's okay not to do it all. In fact, most of your budgets are probably so small that trying to do all of these things is just not possible. And you're not looking for quick fixes. You're looking for long-term growth of your company or organization. So pick them wisely. So this is I thought I would push this in here, the social media spend, what really matters, because I realize that this is an area that people get concerned about. How much time and energy should I be spending specifically on social media? So first of all, you want to be where your people are. So if your people are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, or any other social media out there, that's where your business needs to be. You do not need to be everywhere. You just need to be where your customers are or where your ideal customers are. So remember, we talked about that in the beginning. You have this ideal customer. We'll just call her Betty because I just like that. So whoever your Betty is where you want to be. If your Betty lives on Instagram, then you need to maybe live on Instagram as well. So first, think about where your customers are. So you only spend time where you get the most bang, and you only spend money where your people really are hanging out. And when I say money here, I really am also thinking about time. A lot of small businesses don't have a lot of money for marketing, so they use time. Well, time is a finite resource as well, and so you only have so much of it. So if your people, customers, donors are all on Instagram, invest in a good camera and take amazing photos and learn the platform. I teach a class just on Instagram if you're interested. If you need to meet them on Twitter, spend time there. Host a blog chat, do a Twitter campaign. There's a lot of resources for that as well. If you are looking at customers that mostly would be targeted through LinkedIn, you should be maybe spending a little bit of time and energy on LinkedIn. If it's Facebook and you have a Facebook page and you think that you get your people, your community, your people are there, then spend your time there. Not everyone is there. It's a sort of a misnomer that everybody needs to be cultivating their community on Facebook. Yes, everybody is there. I mean, everybody is there. And I think that Mark Zuckerberg is going to make it so that everyone on the whole planet is there. But that doesn't mean that everybody's doing business there. So you have to make sure that that's right for your company. You do not need to be everywhere. This is, if I could plaster a billboard and afford a billboard, this is maybe something I would put on it. Don't be everywhere. Do it in one place really well. Do Twitter really well, or do Pinterest really well. Whatever works for you in your business is what matters. There is a florist in our area who primarily is on Instagram and has grown their business to the point where they just opened a second location, mostly because of the growth that they saw using Instagram. That's where their people were, that's where their customers came from, and so they have invested a lot of time and energy on that one social platform. That doesn't mean that they're not maybe on other social platforms just with a presence, but where they're spending their time and energy is on Instagram. So you need to figure that out for yourself and where your customers really are spending their time and where they're buying from. That's probably the most important. So it's not about doing all of it. Maybe 2015 could be the year of doing something really, really well. I think you will see much bigger gains if you do it this way. So step 7, what will trigger my ideal customer to think of me? So you put something out there and, we're all busy. All of us are busy. So what is it about what you have that someone goes, oh, I should go there? So is it because you're an upcoming event? If you're a florist, is it because you have a new home? If you're an art gallery, is someone feeling stuck? Does that trigger them to call a consultant? Is a child coming up for a birthday and they might think of, well, maybe they could have it at the museum? Brainstorm 3 ideas for your own business. Like, what is it that makes them think, oh, I need to use them, or if you're a nonprofit, I need to get involved with them. What are those things that are triggering people to buy or support your organization? Those are really important, because when you start to focus on your marketing, now this is really relevant for pay-per-click and for Facebook, is that you can target really specifically to people who are having a birthday or who were newly engaged or who just moved into the area. So you can target ads that are very specific to those kinds of people. And so in doing so and knowing what triggers them to think of you, you can target directly to them. So think about that for your own business or organization. What is it that triggers them to think of you? So step 8. So the marketing program that you plan to execute. Think about how often you're going to send a marketing effort. You're not going to do this every single day, a full marketing plan. So think seasonally, think partnering with others and events. Maybe you're a bike company and you're going to do races in your area. Cycles of your business. Maybe it's taxes or the school schedule. Maybe it's quarterly. When I do a campaign for customers, for clients, I'm looking at their calendar and their scope of business, and I'm running campaigns on a, probably on a 6 week. Every 6 weeks, we're doing something a little differently. But don't run too many campaigns. Run less and run them well is more important than running something every day. So think about this. So you decide that you want to have a contest. A contest takes a lot to execute. You have to figure out the parameters of the contest, what the marketing materials are going to be, how you're going to promote it, how you're going to notify the winner. But it's not over after you have the winner. How are you going to promote who the winner was and how that affected them and your business? How are you going to promote that to your community of customers? So there's this long project that's the contest. So I don't know any of you that are ever sit in meetings and someone, we should have a contest. Well, it's not as easy as just putting something on Facebook and saying, we're going to have a contest today. There's a much larger picture to that if you run it well, because you would also have an email about the contest, maybe several different Facebook posts about that, and maybe some in-store graphics about the contest. It's a much bigger project. So think about how often you can actually execute all of those well. And maybe for your business, maybe it's 4 times a year you could do something really special. Maybe you have a certain kind of sale that you do. Maybe you have some sort of new customer event, maybe some VIP event, and maybe you sponsor some event. Maybe that's what you could do really well, and that you could communicate in a way that's focused and clear and will actually have results. So number 9 is I've been talking about this lately a lot. So who is my social good partner? So this comes up because I know that every business is inundated with requests to do something, to give a gift, to give a donation, to be a sponsor, to buy an ad, whatever it is. It's every day. I know that in the small town that I live in, the requests really do come probably 5-6 times a week to sponsor this or sponsor that. And what I've talked to small businesses about is to, instead of having to say no, which is really hard. It's really hard to say no to every cause or to kids that are in your, in front of you or just whatever's happening. Instead, it's okay to say no if you say, I'm sorry, but this year our cause is, breast cancer awareness, whatever that is, whatever your cause is. Choose one nonprofit that has ties to the type of work that you do, or a family or work tie, or however that is. I ask my clients to go ahead and contact that company, that organization, and let them know that you'd like to sponsor an event or host a drive, or just let them know, we're going to have you as our potential partner for the entire year for our business. And then, choosing one for the full year has the most impact on your giving. It also creates a relationship with that organization. So maybe, maybe a staff member I don't know, got a single parent scholarship. So that's an organization that you want to focus on. Or maybe you really love, pets. And so you want to do something with your local shelter. Whatever it is, what this allows you to do is in all of your marketing efforts, you can also say, this year we're sponsoring, XYZ. And that gives extra love to the organization and helps people understand that this is who your nonprofit partner is. It's good for nonprofit partners because then they have someone that they can rely on. If they do have to buy an ad or there is something coming up, maybe it's an opportunity that you would be able to take. And it also allows you to say no. So every time someone comes into your office or they send you an email, I get requests all the time for different things. You are able to respond back. I appreciate you asking. I'm just not able to provide something at this time. We're sponsoring X this year. And so this piece of the marketing plan is somewhat new, but it's a safe way for you to focus on one thing you really care about, get the most out of it, and be able to say no with grace, which is so hard. And so here's your out. You pick the one and you'll be able to do this easier next year. So what does all of this cost? What is your budget? So the average is 5% of your revenue will allow you to stay where you are with minimal growth. 10% is optimal for more substantial growth. So 5% of your revenue, everything that comes in, that's before expenses. So to give you some idea, I went ahead and decided I would show. So this is the rule of thumb. Here's the real deal. Spend something. Many small businesses don't spend anything, thinking that their website or their Etsy store or their location will be enough. It isn't. Plan to spend something. If you can't spend 5% of your total revenue, I get it. If you haven't done a marketing plan before and you haven't attributed any funding, that might seem like a big number. 10% might be scaring the heck out of you if you really have never done a budget. But I believe that you're spending money now without any focus. So every Facebook ad that you bought or the email program that you bought but you didn't have a focus for, or the events that you sponsored, or the ads and the programs that you bought, whatever it is that you did, you spent money. You just didn't have a budget for it. So if you have a budget with a real number, you know what it is that you can and cannot spend. And when that budget is gone, you realize that, that you just can't spend anymore. And here's the thing about it. So it's not hard and fast. So if you're seeing after the first quarter or the second quarter that your revenue really isn't high enough to do the 10%, you can bring that down a little. You can see that. But again, spend something, don't spend nothing. And look at what you have spent in the past. If you're using QuickBooks or any other accounting system, take a look at what it is that you actually did spend, or think about how many products you donated to different causes and sort of add that up in your head. Use that as part of your spend. So it gives you an idea of what is going out the door. So what is revenue? Here's examples I thought I should show you. So if your revenue is $150,000, you'd be budgeting $12,500. This gives you some idea. If your small business is at the, just under $1 million, you're doing $47,500. A tiny micro business, and I know a lot of people are running those. These are the out of your home getting stuff done, and maybe your revenue is $80,000. Your budget would be about $4,000. But think about that. That's what it would be to have a membership somewhere, to have an email host, to do changes on your website. Think about what that is for you. And understanding what that budget really also allows you to say no with grace too, because every opportunity that comes in your door, however great, just might not be great for you this year, especially if you know how much you'd be spending. So this was like the brain dump part of it. I wanted to give some sort of quick, practical things that you could do. So for brick and mortars, people who have actual storefronts, remember that your window is worth at least $2,000 a month in advertising. I'm using the costs of a standard display ad. And so clean it, make it amazing, hire someone to do it. If you go online and you check Pinterest, window display, look at what some of the big guys are doing. Look at what Crate and Barrel or Anthropologie or Urban Outfitters or any of the large, big box retailers, because they hire amazing designers to do their windows, and it's totally okay for you to look at those and be inspired by those. Give customers something to talk about. So this is part of a campaign that you could do that might not cost you a whole lot of money, but you could have January through March is your, get customers talking campaign. Create a hashtag and use it, whatever that is for your store or your location. Let them know what social platform you are on. So if you've decided that you're going to be all about Twitter, get everyone that comes into your location to know that that's where you are, that you're on Pinterest or whatever it is. Let them know. Yes, I know on business cards you show every social media platform that you possibly could have on, but I'm talking about a campaign that says, hey, we're going to do everything we can here, and we're going to push. We'd like to have you talk to us there too, and really push them. And then get their email addresses and directly market to them. I can't stress this enough. So if you get them in your door, which is a miracle all on its own, because there are a million doors to go in. So if you get them in your door, then you need to capture their email address. That is your key to being able to directly market back to them. So I don't know if you want to do just a sign up or a welcome book or anything, get their email address to win something, whatever it is, but that is important for the brick and mortars. And then lastly, invest in customer service training. For yourself, for your staff, I can't say enough that this piece, more people lose business because of poor customer service than anything else. And so, yeah, you might know it all, you might be perfect, but everyone has room for improvement. So online businesses, get your website in order. This is probably the biggest deal. Learn what SEO is, search engine optimization. You don't have to pay someone to do this. You can do this yourself. And as soon as you understand how to do it, you'll be able to make sure that your pages are optimized to be shown in Google, which basically owns the internet, at the highest level. Have landing pages that work. So if you're online and you're selling products online, you need to make sure that you're driving people to the right pages. And so maybe this year is the year that you develop some of those pages. If people just want to take your classes, then you would send them there. If you have people who just maybe, you sell a variety of products, but maybe some people are only interested in one kind of product. Let's say you do candles and potpourri, but they're really only interested in the potpourri. Then you would have a page that's just that. Send people where they want to go instead of having to navigate your whole site. Capture email addresses. I guess maybe that should be my billboard. I can't say it enough. If they have the time to go to your website and you get to capture their email address, that allows you to market back to them. That is, if you don't have that yet set up on your website, get that fixed. Give away free content. So if you're a content provider, or even if you're not, let's say, I'll go back to the candle shop. Let's say you're a candle shop and you sell, candles and potpourri and design elements. Maybe you have the free content you give is, maybe some decoration guidelines, or maybe some, some recipes for each season. It doesn't even have to be related necessarily directly to the candles. But think about it. If I'm buying candles in the fall, I'm thinking about pumpkin pie. Maybe your free content is that you give away, the best recipes for pumpkin pie. And this won't cost you anything if you just have family members or friends. Have someone not related to your company navigate your website and give you feedback. This probably should move to your plan as the top thing that you're going to do. It doesn't cost anything, and it would be something that could change everything for you and your company. You may think it all makes sense, but having someone from the outside look at it can really give you a different peek into what could be changed. I give you a big example. Audible.com, has an interface that is not easy to use. I really wish that they would have some testers. You'd like to be able to be part of it, but it's not as easy as it could be. And if they had someone outside of themselves maybe telling them, they might make some changes. So even the big guys could use this. Nonprofits, invest in your marketing. You need to communicate to your community. I can't say that enough. Most nonprofits' marketing budget is nil. Large, huge nonprofits, their marketing budget is giant, but the tiny ones aren't spending anything at all. Make it easy to give to your organization. So every point of entry, make it easy to give. And then maybe this is the year that you decrease actual mail pieces that you see actual return on. So I have some nonprofits where I receive something every month, and I know they're not getting a return on that. And that's expensive, that printing cost, all of that. So think about that before you start sending stuff in the mail. So it's a lot for an early, Tuesday morning. But what I really want you to focus on is that you are able to know who your customers are. When you are creating your messaging, you're creating it directly for those ideal customers, your Bettys, whoever they are, and that you are doing a few things and you're doing them well. As part of this, I will send out a Word document that has fillable boxes in it so that you'll be able to fill out your plan. And so there's no excuse not to at least have something written down. And my hope for all of you really is just that you will be able to have some idea of what you're going to spend and what it is that you're going to focus on. And then that should make some of the decisions you have to make throughout the year a little easier. So we have some time for some questions. And this is your time. If you have specific questions about your business or your organizations, or this is it. I would ask now, because here I am. This would be like having a one-on-one, which I offer and would be happy to do. But really, if you have a question for your business or your organization, I would ask now. And it doesn't matter how big the question is or how small the question. If I don't have any, I'm going to end early, which is totally fine. You can reach me at jacquelinewoolven@gmail.com, and I'm happy to go over your plan or even just answer a question that you have. I know that a lot of this is new. So when you get the Word document that I'm going to send you, you'll be able to fill that out. And if you want to review, I can do that. Or if you just have a question, just shoot it back to me. Don't be lost this year or next year. Don't just try to struggle and do it. Really, there's a lot of resources to help you get better at what you do. And I think that's what everybody wants for you. Pick the things and learn how to do them well. And let's have a great 2015. And I appreciate it. And there'll be, I think I'm teaching next week a Facebook class, and I'm teaching all next year. And so I look forward to meeting you online and maybe via email. And